Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I think you're gonna love it. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by. Today is going to be so much fun, but before we hop into it, welcome to all of my new subscribers and thank you so much to everyone who is helping to make my channel a success. Thank you so very much. We made these adorable luminaries. The feedback from you guys was phenomenal. So many of you are going to invest in the fairy lights as well as the chopping mats from the Dollar Tree or something similar. So I thought I should try to develop some more projects on which we can use both of these. And I think you're going to love today's project. So here is today's project. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I believe that you're going to think so too. Now I'm going to turn on the light because I'm not sure that you can get a really good look at it when the lights are off. But what this is a gorgeous custom wall sconce. So guys, you're going to be able to make these to fit any decor, any season, any reason, and any gender. I'll go over what we're going to need to make it in just a minute. But y'all know what time it is because a lot of you leave these exact words in the comment section. It's time to make it. All right, guys, so here is today's fabulous wall sconce. I have turned off my overhead lights so that we can try to get a better look at this. I am going to turn the fairy lights on so that you can see the amount of light you actually get from this. Now, these are not meant to take the place of home lighting, but it is great accent lighting. I can actually see many places where I would place this. You can actually scale it down in size and create a little night light. Now, you wouldn't want to burn it continuously because the batteries will wear out. But this is great when you need some quick spot lighting or if you just want some beautiful accent lighting in your home decor. And there's nothing better than making it yourself. So when finished, the footprint of this is the back is 10 inches long by 6 inches wide. The actual sconce portion of it, we are going to be using a piece of our chopping block that is 7 by 11. So I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to need to make this little cutie. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to need to make our project. I have 2 strips of paper, and I have cut these at 1 by 12. I have 1 piece of 12 by 12. The paper that I'm using is from the Kaisercraft Let It Snow collection, and it's called Snowfall. The SKU is 834-1624805. If you are interested in this paper, please do an internet search for it. Again, it's from the Let It Snow collection by Kaisercraft, SKU 834-1624805. Then I have 2 pieces of medium weight chipboard that we'll be joining together. This chipboard measures 6 by 10. I am using the Dollar Tree chopping mats for this project again. You have 2 in the pack. We are going to take 1 and cut it down to 7 by 11. These are 11 by 14 inches, so that means that you're going to be able to get 4 pieces from this 1 pack. Then I'm going to be using some glue dots. A lot of you have asked if I have a link for these. I do not. I couldn't find anything comparable to what I have here on Amazon. I hoarded glue dots many, many moons ago, and I keep them in little containers. So if you're looking for these, you might try searching for small, medium, or large pre-cut glue dots, and maybe you'll be able to find some that come already cut and separated like these. Then I'm going to be using some more of the fairy lights. I'll be using 1 pack of the fairy lights, and I'm going to go ahead and just take that out. And so if you're looking for some of the items that I'm using in this video, in particular, the chipboard and the fairy lights, please look in the description box for the shopping carts. That will tell you where to go find some of the items that I'm using in this video or other videos. Okay, so to make our project, the first thing that we need to do is we need to join the two pieces of chipboard together. And we're joining two medium weight pieces. And this is going to give us a nice sturdy base for the sconce. So all I'm doing is trying to line these up to get them even. They won't always be perfect, but we can get them close enough. Then I'll peel away the tape from the other side. And I am going to use my beautiful Kaisercraft paper. I could go with the snowy scene, but I actually like those stripes. So I am going to place this down. And then I'll flip it over, go over on the back side, and get it stuck. Now I'm going to take my finger blade, and we are just going to cut away that excess. Don't throw this away because we're going to need it. And now I'll take my stylus, press it against the chipboard, and drive it into the paper to create a nice little score. Now I'll stand this up, and basically we're just getting this train to fold over, and I'll angle these edges. And then I'm just going to place my tape along the edges here. And then I'll also place tape along the edge of the chipboard to make sure that I have a nice coverage. Then I am going to use my big old spatula to get everything nice and stuck. I'll peel away my tape backers. And now we can take this and we're going to fold over these ends. And I'll use my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. And then I'm just going to stand it and go around the four corners just to knock off a little bit of the bluntness of the edge. Now for me, I'm going to leave the back just like this because it is going to be flat on the wall and I really don't need to add anything to it. Now, if you want to add paper to yours, by all means, cut out a piece that will fit this, and your piece size would be 5 3/4 by 9 3/4. So now we're going to bring in those two pieces that measure 1 by 12, and we're going to score on the 1-inch side at 1/2 inch. And then we'll fold it, and I'll add a strip of tape to this edge and then to the other edge. And guys, this is just paper that I'm using as my edge material. And now we're going to bring in the 7 by 11 inch piece of chopping mat, and we're going to trim it. And I am just going to trim mine down to 10 inches. And basically I'm doing that because part of this has a rounded end to it, and I want to make sure that both ends are nice and just straight edge. So I have trimmed this to 10 by 7. So on the 10-inch side, we're going to score this at 1, rotate it to the opposite 10-inch side, and score at 1. Now we're going to bring in those two strips that measure 1 by 12 that we have folded in half. And now you can take your piece, and I am just going to butt it up against the score mark. I'll try to be as even as I can. It won't be perfect, but I have tried to get it against the score mark, and now I'll fold that over, and I'll use my finger blade to trim away the excess. Then I'm going to bring in that second piece, and we're going to do the same thing at the top. And just start laying it close to the score mark. Fold over, and then I'll trim away that excess. So we have a shiny side to this and a matte side. I want the matte side to be the outer portion that is showing. So now I'm simply going to take this, and where I have scored, I'm just going to fold it. Now, because we are being very aggressive on these edges, you might have some splitting at the edge. But you know what? Once we put it together, guys, it doesn't even show. So I can see where my little splits happen. But like I said, it's no biggie because they're not really going to show. So what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to take my tape. I'm going to place some tape right against the score mark. And if you want, you can use washi tape instead of paper for your edges. It's completely up to you. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I am going to peel away the backer from one side only. So now I'm going to bring in my board. And for this part, I'm actually going to stand, because what I'll be doing is I am going to take this and curve it and put it down. So first I want to take it and put one side down. Now, how deep your curve is completely up to you. You might want a real deep curve. You might want it to be a little bit wider, which is how I prefer mine. So I have that piece down, and I'm satisfied with that placement. So now I'm going to remove the tape from this section here. I'm standing while I do this so that I can get the best possible placement. And then I'm going to put it down, but I'm not going to stick it completely yet. I'm going to make sure that I have it nice and straight and the way that I want it. And I think I did a pretty good job with that. So I am going to take my big old spatula and go on the inside. And then you can kind of press down, and there we have it. Y'all, that whole process is so super easy peasy that when you make yours, it is going to blow your mind that I just made this. So now we're going to take our fairy lights and put them in. But before we do, I'm going to take some tape and put the tape across the top of the fairy light. Now, where I'm putting the tape, this is the back. This is where you would need to change the battery if you wanted to. So I'm not going to place any paper on the back of this. Go ahead and pull out that plastic tab. And I trimmed away the excess tape. Then I'm going to peel away my backer sheets. And I'm going to take some of that scrap paper that I had left over, and I'm going to put that down. And basically all I've done is I have created a little cover for this, so it will blend in on the inside and you won't see it. So I am going to take my finger blade. We are trimming the excess. And now we have that covered. I am going to go ahead and start unwinding these because it'll be easier if I start unwinding them now before I stick this down. So I'm also going to turn on the light to make sure they all work, and they do. So let's just start unraveling. All right, y'all, so now that I have this piece covered, you can see that you will not be able to see that on the inside. Now here's what I'm going to do. I am going to use my magic tape, my Amazon repositionable tape. I am adding some to the back, and then I'm going to add just a little bit right there on the inside. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to take my little battery pack and stick it to it. But what this allows me to do is it allows me to be able to remove my battery pack and change it if I need to without damaging the paper, because I'm using this wonderful, wonderful magic tape. So now that I have the power pack in, I am going to take my lights and I'm going to start positioning them. And this is where my glue dots are going to come into play. So I am going to use these very small glue dots because I don't want anything showing. I'm going to take a glue dot, stick it right there at the bottom. Don't know if you guys can see that, but I stuck that glue dot right there. I'm going to peel away the plastic. Let's see if you can see it now. Not sure if you can see it, but it's right there. I'm going to take a portion of the light and bring it in and pull it down. Now I want to make sure I leave a tail here at the top so that when I do take out the battery pack to change the batteries, I don't have to worry about pulling these undone. So I'm leaving this tail here at the top, and we'll deal with that later. So basically what I've done is I've taken this, left a tail. I'm going to pull this through and place it in the glue dot, and it holds. And it's okay that we're using glue dots in this way because we do want these to stay stuck. We're using these clear glue dots, so you really don't have to worry about anything showing. So now that I have that piece in, I am going to start pulling some of the other wire in, and I'm not placing any glue on this portion. So I'm placing all of my glue dots on the actual covered chipboard. So I can take another piece, find my little glue dot, and get that stuck. And we don't have to use a lot of glue dots. We're just doing it so that certain parts won't protrude out as we're building this up. So wherever you see that you need a glue dot, go ahead and add one. Or even if you wanted to run some of your magic tape, you can do that as well. So I'm going to put that piece right there. And now I'm going to take the rest of my wire and just sort of bend it and put it inside. At this point, I really don't need to add any more glue to these wires that I'm inserting here, because you do want to be able to come back and just sort of play with it and get your placement the way that you want it. So now that we have our wires on the inside, we need to deal with this tail, and it's a very simple tuck in and just let it hang like that. So now when you have to remove the battery pack, you're going to have that tail that gives you a lot of flexibility on being able to remove it, swap out those batteries, and put it back up. And so now I have my second awesome wall sconce. Guys, they are absolutely gorgeous. So I am going to show you a picture of these mounted to the wall so that you can see all that you're able to do with these gorgeous sconces. I can see actually adding some holiday greenery and maybe having that protruding from the top or even the bottom. There are so many possibilities that we can do with these. Now, how am I mounting these to the wall? So to mount mine to the wall, I am going to use some of the 3M picture hangers They don't do any damage to the wall. You can put them up, take them down, put them up, take them down. So for me, that's going to be the easiest way to mount mine. You guys might have other ideas, but that is how I'm going to mount these. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this awesome project using those fairy lights and Dollar Tree cutting mats. Again, we have made something very inexpensive to make look like it cost $1 million. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.